Does get great distance on it as expected. They've done it. What a ball!
Hello, welcome to this week's Three Fish on the Shirt. I'm Dave Dixon. We're at Three Fish on the Shirt on all our social media channels, including our YouTube channel, which we'd be really appreciative if you'd like, subscribe and share, please, as much as you can. It really helps the channel if you do that. Thank you in advance. So, since last week, we came on to talk about the Walsall defeat, which was really disappointing after a couple of great away performances, and it was back to away action at Tranmere last Tuesday evening. I was a guest of one of the Tranmere fans, so I was in the home end, which is always a challenge to be able to sit on your hands and watch a match when you want your team to be winning and you want your team to be attacking, and you can't really cheer. But Town's away form had been 3 straight victories, so we went into the game with no fears of a team that in Tranmere that had only scored up to 7 goals, I think, before the game took place on Tuesday evening. A great following of Town fans, something like 426 Town fans were at the match, which is a great following for a Tuesday evening right across the other side of the country, the day or the next match after a bit of a drubbing at home in the 4-1 reverse to Walsall. So Town took the field with an unchanged side, apart from McEachran. So I guess that means it wasn't unchanged, but McEachran was rested. Ainley came in, and Town went with 5 at the back to try and shore up that defence after the weekend. And it turned out to be quite a cagey game in the first half. There was very little really clear-cut chances. Probably Tranmere had the best of those with the dangerous Amari Patrick getting across into Kieran Morris, who forced a great save from Jackson Smith. The ball squirmed out of his grasp, though, rolled along the line. Just in time was Kieran McJanet to sweep up at the back, clearing the ball before it crossed over the line. With Tranmere, they had one or two other chances, but nothing of great note. Town's biggest chance of the half fell to Justin Abikwu, who managed to get his header over the top of the bar. So it wasn't really a great surprise with the two teams that it was 0-0 at half time. And so we were hoping for a bit more of a lively second half, and it certainly turned out to be that. Town, obviously, we're looking a bit better going forward, particularly with the ball on the floor. It was Barrington who was looking lively in the middle, just behind the front two of Danny Rose and Justin Abikwu. Rose got away down one side to put the ball across, which resulted in a penalty for Town. Rose got up and took the penalty, but knocked it. Well, he hit it quite well. It was a good height for the keeper, and the keeper pulled off a good save. And you felt that Town's decent chance had probably gone a begging. There's another cross that came in. Abikwu scooped it over the bar, and scoring probably seemed easier for a striker. And then you're kind of thinking, as those chances go begging, that Town's best chances are behind us. But Luca Barrington had other ideas. He spotted Abikwu's run just about on the hour. The centre half looked to have it covered, but the keeper came racing out, and the keeper had made a big cock up of a similar ball in the first half, come racing out, did manage to get a clearance on it, but the ball, to stop it being played straight back into a Town player from throwing, he threw the ball back on the pitch and got a booking for his trouble. So he really needed to be clean about what he did, and a bit of hesitation between the defender and the keeper meant that Abikwu was able to jump in, get a foot on the ball, and get past both of them. Now the challenge then was to put the ball into the empty net by from an angle which by no means was the easiest chance of the 3 that he'd probably had all night. But he took the ball away with some aplomb, to the great delight of the Mariners travelling faithful. So 1-0 with probably half an hour to go. Still feels like a long time to hold out. and Tranmere pretty much aimed to lay siege to the Town goal. We've had some controversy with referees over the last few weeks and months at Blundell Park, particularly with everything seemed to go one way, and it's certainly not for the home side. And so it proved for the rest of the half, as the referees seemed to grow tired of Tranmere losing their heads a little bit around some of the decisions that he was making. You did feel like for once the rub of the green was going Town's way, and I think any fan will tell you if that's the case, you'll take it. But it's nice to have it in Town's favour for a change. The referee Ben Toner went on to get that much into Tranmere fans' heads, and the coach says they ended up with 6 bookings on the pitch. Nigel Atkins booked, and also they had people throwing bottles on the pitch, which led to a short stoppage whilst the stadium management team were scolded by the ref and asked to sort it. So all of which led to sort of psychologically a situation where Tranmere probably weren't the ref's favourite people, and in the 95th minute it proved as a ball was played into the box. Tranmere striker ran onto the ball, was tripped apparently by Tyrell Warren. Referee gave the Tranmere guy a yellow card and Town the free kick. And all because, in my belief, the guy threw himself on the floor too theatrically, because live at the ground, and it was right at my end of the field where I was sat, it looked like a penalty, and I was just waiting for the ref to give it. So we'll take that look when it's going for us, but certainly the Tranmere fans didn't feel very warm towards the referee. But as many of them said after the game, it wasn't necessarily the referee's fault. They didn't win the game or get anything out of the game. They've only scored 7 goals in the 12 games up to that one, as opposed to Town, who've now scored 16. So even by Town standards, Tranmere are low scoring and we're the best one in the world. If you don't score many, and if you don't score any, the best you can do is 0-0. So a great win away from home. A few highlights were that the defence were really, really resolute and putting an immense performance. Corey, Ainley and Barrington were superb in the middle and just behind the top two, sorry. And Danny Rose's leadership in running after everything was absolutely key. Got the penalty, took it, missed it, but his effort and commitment were there to be seen. Abiku, however, was a little bit enigmatic, probably spurned chances that were easier than the one he scored, but he certainly made some of the mid-match tweets age like milk as he managed to score the winner. As I said, the ref was controversial, and David Artelli even said he wasn't keen on the penalty, although we'll take it, because he's not keen on the rule around the ball to hand situations, and I guess probably largely because he was brought up in a different era. But as I said, Tranmere lost their heads, and 6 bookings and bottle throwing incidents didn't reflect well on them at the end of the game. But the people I went with were very magnanimous. They weren't happy with the ref either, but they didn't give me a hard time particularly. So we can be thankful for that.
This is TNT Sports' Adam Summerton, and you're listening to Three Fish on the Shirt.
On to the Town game on Saturday at home to MK Dons, going into the game 5 wins out of 7, and a tough home game against Milton Keynes was on the cards. Town opened brightly, looked the better side in the early exchanges. Denver Hume and Danny Rose contrived a great free kick move in the 16th minute to fool the MK Dons defence. Danny Rose nipped in. Everybody seemed to get the angles wrong except Danny Rose, and he managed to fool the keeper and roll the ball into the Osmond net. The Town situation after that, though, was one of frustration, because Town were on top for most of the first half. Now, under normal circumstances, you'd like to see your team go, 1 or 2 further ahead. Town had some chances too, didn't take them. Just after half time, Luca Barrington had a great chance, struck the ball well, but hit the goalkeeper. 2 minutes later, Walsall score again, a goal which seems to be the carbon copy of many we've conceded this season. And in the last few games, I think it's 4 or 5 examples of us essentially conceding the same goal, which kind of leads to the feeling at Blundell Park, particularly over the last 2 or 3 games, that we're watching the same game over and over again, and we just can't get out of the habit of playing in one half well and then capitulating. And I appreciate David Artell's comments after the game that we went pushing for it, which made the scoreline look a little bit worse, because if we're not pushing for the equaliser, we don't concede the third. Now, I think, valid as those points may be in football terms, 500 to 1,000 fans away from home every week, in away terms, are loving it at the moment, and that won't always be the case. And the overall picture is that it's five wins from 8 now, 15 from 24, and it's not that long ago since we were moaning about 3 wins in 20. So, in context, we're not doing so bad, but 3 wins, 3 defeats at home on the trot, and conceding 3 or 4 goals at a time won't do any good to the home faithful. And I think, yes, town fans have got to see the bigger picture, but if it continues to be a problem, that there will be, there could be potential damage to future finance if people don't renew season tickets, if they get fed up of the football. So I'm hoping that's not the case, and I'm one of the people, and I don't know how numerous I am, or people with my view are, that we will turn it around, and the bigger picture is we're definitely getting better, and we should kind of be thankful for the improvement at the moment, and wait and see how we're getting on. But we'll come to have a look at the goals in a minute. We've got quite a few examples. We've got the the first goal against Carlisle is corner from the right. Man runs in unheaded. I hope he didn't come in unheaded. Came in unmarked and headed home for the first goal. In the Barrow game, both goals were from right hand side crosses with a header. And then you've got Walsall, where you've got Jamil Matt's goal. Jamil Matt towering in the 6-yard box to nod in straight past the keeper. And then on Saturday, you've got Alex Gilby doing exactly the same. And like I say, we just keep to seem to concede the same goal over and over and over again. And that can't continue. And I'm sure if I can see it, I'm sure David Artell can see it. I'm sure he can get it sorted out. But it's got to be something that positionally with marking, that we're just not doing what we need to do. And actually, there's another example of a right hand side cross coming in and us conceding, although it didn't cost us too dearly in the end, like the Carlisle one. Was the Salford away game. You've again got a right hand side cross coming in, and Stockton comes into head pretty much unmarked for the equaliser. Again, as the Carlisle game, it didn't cause too much of an issue because we won both the games. But again, it's preventable, or you'd think it'd be preventable. I'm sure David Artell has got enough ammunition. If we can see it, he'll be able to see it. And him and Sean Pearson, Ben Davis should be able to pick that up and sort it out. So on to later on in the week. We've had a great coup over the weekend. We managed to secure an interview with Adam Summerton, the BT Sports, now TNT Sports commentator, who commentated on the town playoff campaign throughout the playoffs in 2022. And we know that he holds the Wrexham game in high esteem amongst matches he's seen live, and certainly ones he's commentated on. And we secured an interview with him, which we'll be able to release this Thursday. So I'm really looking forward to that. So please get your subscribe button, click the bell icon to get reminded that the new episodes are out, and honestly, it's a fantastic listen. Also, if you've listened to the first part of Steve Saunders' interview, last week we released the second part. It's another 25 minutes of Steve Saunders talking about the great cup run we had in his second season, in Alan Buckley's first season, and also him talking about the remainder of his career and how he's got through to what he's doing now, which is fascinating, as I say, not only from a Grimsby Town fan point of view, but from a football fan point of view, to see the opposite side of a footballer's life. So we're dedicating time and effort to getting the best guests we can get on for you. So please, as I say, like, subscribe, share all of our content, and tell the world about it, because we're bringing it along to try and make sure that we're giving you the best quality output that we can at the Three Fish on the Shirt podcast. So without further ado, man down for tonight for unavoidable reasons. I look forward to getting Steve back next week. But let's hope that Town can get back to positive performances at home, keep winning away, and we can be looking up at those playoff positions again. I think in context, the whole thing is on the right direction and on the right track, but there's stuff to do still. So there's a game against the Man City under-21s tomorrow night, with Town taking the Man City youngsters on, which will be interesting, but probably not top priority. And then it's a week off away from the Cup on Saturday, with Wealdstone, the visitors to Blundell Park, and hopefully that'll give Town a chance with the league pressure off to get a bit of a side together that can put Wealdstone to the sword and get a bit of confidence going at home. But as we know, in the Cup, those teams are really up for these games, and no game is ever guaranteed, particularly at that stage of the Cup, because everybody wants to take a league scalp, and Wealdstone will be no different. The only saving grace for me was, I think, in the National League campaign, we had an awful away game at Wealdstone. I think we lost 1-0, never performed at all after a decent run. Went through an awful run around November to Christmas. Came out the other end of it with a win at home to Wealdstone, which then led on to the run into the playoffs in the National League. So that particular campaign was bookended by two performances against Wealdstone. Hopefully this one can kick our this year's FA Cup run off. Hopefully we can get right the way through again. But also, we need to get back to winning ways at Blundell Park and get people feeling like we're behind them and all the rest of it. So keep the faith. We'll be all right, I promise. And we'll see you in the next one. And please look out for the Adam Somerton episode. It's a really, really good listen, and a great memory to look back on as well. And we were privileged to be able to get to speak to him. So all the very best, up the Mariners, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Thank you for watching or listening to tonight's show. You can catch us on YouTube, podcasts on Podbean or Apple Podcasts. You can also find us on our social media channels of Instagram, Twitter, or X as it's now known, TikTok and Facebook. Please like, subscribe and share at every opportunity. It helps us a lot. Thanks a lot. Bye.